Kamala. Thank you for your company. We have a big show for you today, and let's get straight into it because the countdown is on until the November election. And right now, Kamala Harris and the Democrats are running a campaign that is insulting to the American people. And I don't use that word lightly, but it is hard to watch people over in America and right here in Australia getting swept up in the hype and are falling for it. It has been 17 days since Kamala Harris became the presumptive Democrat nominee, and she has not given a single media interview. Why is that important? Because we need to hear about her policies from her. Because if you pay attention, you would notice that the strategy at the moment is to keep Kamala Harris hidden, but not make it look like they're hiding her. She can still go to events with pop stars and big fired-up crowds to make her look young and cool, so people vote for her because of the vibe. Oh, and because she's a woman. So if she cares deeply about democracy and transparency, why isn't she giving media interviews? If she's as great as the mainstream media are making her out to be, then what's the problem? Are the Democrats too afraid after what happened to Joe Biden when he was exposed on the debate stage? Remember, this is the woman who repeatedly lied to the American people that Joe Biden was all there. And just on that, let's not forget that the guy who claims we beat Medicare and who confused Zelensky for Putin is apparently running the country right now and for the next 6 months. Let's not worry about that and the incredibly important job he has to do, because at 8 p.m. he'll need some shut-eye. Now, Kamala Harris this week announced that Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will be her running mate. Why did she choose him? A guy no one really knows from Minnesota, a blue state, when one of the most important states in this election, the swing state of Pennsylvania, has Josh Shapiro, who, according to the polls, is the state's most popular governor. So it seems like that would have been an obvious choice. I hate to ask this question. I hate that this question is being raised right now, but is it because Josh Shapiro is Jewish? Some say that it is, or because there might have been just too much backlash because Josh Shapiro is a supporter of Israel. If that is the case, what does that say about Kamala Harris? Now, as much as the left is excited by the fact we have a black woman running and a white male as her running mate, don't fall for it. Kamala Harris has spent the last couple of years lying about Joe Biden. She's not an honest leader, and her campaign strategy is designed to fool you. Well, let's take a look at Tim Walz, who he is and what he stands for. As governor, he signed laws that required tampons in boys' bathrooms in Minnesota schools. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he oversaw the most draconian lockdowns and vaccine mandates in the nation. And last year, he signed state legislation that permitted abortion up until the moment of birth. And of course, he's on the record supporting the defund the police movement, which emerged following George Floyd's death in May 2020 in Minnesota. Let's bring in Emily Jashinsky on her DC correspondent. Emily, great to speak with you. What do you make of Tim Walz?
It's a really interesting pick from Kamala Harris because Tim Walz is one of the few people in the country who tests the combination of populist economics with far left cultural policies, as you just listed off there. Every